Good morning. Get your coffee, everyone. We are going to read David Dingus's new filing, the emergency motion to strike and request for immediate telephonic scheduling conference. Basically, this is just a response to Greg Woodnick's fire motion about fraud.
She lied.
And Dingus wants it all struck. If you want to hear that motion, I have read it on a live stream. I'll probably come back and read it on one of these in the somewhat near future. But basically, that last filing, well, let me get my buttons working. Basically, the last filing was just...
Go fuck yourself. But go fuck yourself.
Yep, and Dingus wants to strike the whole thing from the record. Probably because it makes him and his client look terrible. All right, I'm not going to do any commentary. I'm just going to get through this motion. Separate and apart from that issue, Ms. Owens respectfully requests an immediate telephonic scheduling conference pursuant to Rule 76 for the purpose of discussing a potential change in trial dates based on respondents' recent disclosure of new and untimely information, which he has never previously disclosed. In addition, at the scheduling conference, Ms. Owens will raise a potential motion in limine seeking to exclude 3 newly disclosed witnesses, one of whom is the basis for the request to strike Mr. Echard's reply brief. And if you are looking for that motion, it's in my videos from yesterday. I read it yesterday, so you can go listen to me read the motion in limine. And there was another one too. I read 2 of them yesterday in one video. Okay. Regarding the reply, the court should strike the reply brief in its entirety on the basis that it grossly violates the plain language of Rule 35A3. That rule provides in all motion practice the reply may address only those matters raised in the response. Here, Mr. Echard's reply brief violates Rule 35A3 because it contains extensive new allegations and information which were not raised in either Ms. Owens' response or in Mr. Echard's original pleading. Specifically, Mr. Echard's original motion sought relief on the basis of fraud because, inter alia, he claimed plaintiff was never pregnant by defendant. In addition, the motion argued Ms. Owens committed fraud, intrinsic and extrinsic, when she testified before Judge Judy regarding a sonogram on October 25th, leading Judge Judy to uphold the order of protection. In her response, Ms. Owens directly and properly addressed those specific issues and allegations raised in the original and amended motions. Now, in his reply filed earlier today, Mr. Echard offers entirely new arguments and evidence, including new evidence literally disclosed for the first time today. Sorry. Professional. Specifically, the reply contains the following new arguments/evidence: an assertion that Ms. Owens fabricated other medical records not previously mentioned in Mr. Echard's original or amended motions.
Emotional damage.
Via medical records from 2016, which are also dubious, Laura claims she had ovarian cancer and that she had an ovary removed, information that is patently missing from any of the medical records provided by Laura. Whoops.
You are fake news.
An assertion that Ms. Owens concealed information from her expert, Dr. Medchill, by failing to disclose a prior cancer diagnosis and removal of her ovary, something Ms. Owens flatly denies. Of course she does. Alleging there is no mention in Ms. Owens' expert report of John Chung Kyle Chan, MD's records for Laura, who reportedly diagnosed her with real ovarian cancer and not something that just may be there. Yeah, because that really sounds like what a doctor would write. Or Rebecca Yee, MD's records for Laura, who say yesterday you received ovary removal surgery, ovarectomy of your right ovary, as well as a surgical abortion. An assertion that Ms. Owens fabricated 3 ultrasounds
Emotional damage.
To be clear, there are 3 ultrasounds that have been altered, 1 image used in the OOP current proceeding, 1 video, and 1 21-week sonogram. Yeah, well, we have all of those. And if you want to know where they came from, you should really ask your client, Dingus. Ask your client. We got them from her. She is the source. The call is coming from inside the casita. In addition to these completely new claims theories, Mr. Echard's motion is supported by dozens of pages of new documents which he only disclosed for the first time today, April 30th. Of course, none of this new information was contained in Mr. Echard's original motion for relief based on fraud, nor the amended version. Well, if he didn't have the information at the time, then that would explain why it wasn't there. Right? And also, once Dingus replied and gave his expert report or whatever, if there was more information that they could use, I would think that would be the time to do it, to refute the report. But whatever. Okay, moving on. We're trying to get through this with no commentary. No commentary, Megan. No commentary. Stop it.
What is my problem?
Thus, Ms. Owens could not and did not address any of this material in her opposition brief. That is precisely why Rule 35 expressly prohibits this sharp practice of belated sandbagging, because unless corrected by striking the offending pleadings, Ms. Owens will have no opportunity to address any of the serious allegations, we're getting very serious, which were raised in the first time in the reply. Mr. Echard's conduct in attempting to raise new issues and new evidence for the first time in his reply is improper and inexcusable. Indeed, the violation is so egregious, it would constitute reversible error, standing alone. It's so egregious. It's egregious. Greg Woodnick, you're... It's so egregious. I don't think that word means what he thinks it means.
Inconceivable. 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 You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay, then we have some case law being cited. The moving party may file a reply memorandum which may address only those matters raised in the responsive memorandum. More case law, noting unfairness of considering argument to which opposing party had no opportunity to respond. Well, what's he bitching about? The trial is on June 10th. He's got plenty of opportunity to respond. Dingus, respond. Why don't you just respond? Show us that those medical records are real. Here's an idea. Show us that the medical records actually exist. Raising new issues for the first time in a reply brief, as Mr. Echard has so clearly done here, is a per se violation of Rule 35. For those reasons, Ms. Owens respectfully moves for an order striking Mr. Echard's reply brief in its entirety. Strike it all. In addition, pursuant to Rule 76(1)(a), Ms. Owens requests that the court set this matter for an immediate telephonic or in-person scheduling conference. Among other things, the purpose of the scheduling conference will be to discuss whether or not Mr. Echard will be permitted to call several untimely disclosed witnesses. Ms. Owens intends to file a separate motion in limine on that issue within the next day. That motion in limine, by the way, I read through yesterday. It is on my YouTube channel in the videos section. Should be the one beneath this one. Also, assuming the court does not preclude Mr. Echard from using untimely disclosed witnesses and documents, it may be necessary for Ms. Owens to request a continuance of the trial in order to allow sufficient... Oh, and a continuance of the trial? We're going to continue the trial? Oh, God.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
A continuance of the trial in order to allow sufficient time to investigate and respond to the new and extremely late disclosures by Mr. Echard. Investigate? All it would take is for her to sign a HIPAA agreement for you to get her medical records from 2016 and find out, do those medical records that say she had her ovary removed and cancer, are they real? Now, I have put in a press inquiry to Sutter Health asking them, are these documents actually from doctors at your facility? And we will see what they have to say about that. They are looking into it. They said they would get back to me when they can. So I think this is a good time to let you in on a little new song. A new song that I am, let's see. All right, so I've been working on a new song. It's called Minor Perjury. I'm going to be creating a video for this, but I thought this would be a good time to kind of see what you think about it. I think that the groovy folk female style is the best one yet. I've been working on this very hard. I have about 8,000 different versions of it, but what do you think about this one? I'm going to be, extending it and also making a video at some point, but I thought this would be a fun time to play it for you.
I swore to tell the truth, oh yes I did. I raised my hand and nodded my head. Nothing but the truth, so help me God. I swore on the Bible, and Dingus gave me the nod. Then I spun a tale so wild, no one could believe. Fake scans only Adobe could achieve. Story keeps changing, sonograms rearranging, and judges ain't paying attention to anything. What do you mean it's a felony? It's just a little minor perjury. When your twins disappear, it's not an emergency. It's just a little minor perjury. It's just a little minor perjury. It's just a little minor perjury. Oh, oh, napkin lady is a cog in my wheel. Her note-mate got me a TEDx spiel. Now my lies are repeated everywhere, doing interviews with lead press on head. How did she hear us through all that noise? Why do you ask? Everybody knows it's the bad boys. They're the ones at fault, it's not me. I just committed a minor perjury. Why didn't you just take me? Instead you made me commit minor perjury.
All right, so then we extended that. Let's see.
That's a minor, and I paid for it on Fiverr. Why couldn't you just take me? Instead you made me commit. Yeah, why don't you date me? Instead I had to commit minor perjury. When your twins disappear, it's not an emergency. It's just a little minor perjury. 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 Oh yeah, I'm not going to jail. There's never gonna be no bail. This system ignores liars like me.
All right,
It's
so
only a little
that's the
minor
first
perjury.
extension, and then I have a second extension.
Why don't you just take me? Instead you made me commit. Yeah, why don't you take me? Instead I had to commit minor perjury. When your twins disappear, it's not an emergency. It's just a little minor perjury. 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 Oh yeah, I'm not going to jail. There's never gonna be no bail. This system ignores liars like me. It's only a little minor
Okay, so I think I'm
perjury.
probably going to go with the first extension, but I don't know why I cut off my good line about and I paid for it on Fiverr. I'm going to have to work on that. But anyway, I'm still working. I'll have a video on that later. Anyway, have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy your coffee. And I'll be back later today for the live stream probably. So stay tuned.